Hey, it's Marin, and this is the Tarot and Astrology Forecast Energy Reading for the week of December 8th through the 14th. So we'll start out with the Tarot. We will see what Celtic Cross spread tells us, what the collective situation is at hand. Then we will look at the astrology day to day and round things out with an oracle deck spread to see what guidance is coming through for us. So the first card we have is the situation at hand, and we have the Queen of Wands, which represents someone who is in a position of uplifting someone or being the person that is encouraging someone. So I think it's representing that we are filling up our emotional vessel this week. We are directing our creative potential. The second card we have as the complement to this is the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is this almost overactive, possibly manic energy of being hyper productive. So it seems like this week we're really exploring how we can instruct our creativity. The third card is the potential for the situation, and we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. With it inverted, this is representing that someone is not doing the tangible, know-how, need to do things that they need to get done, and it might be us procrastinating. The fourth card we have is the unconscious reason for the reading. With the Four of Pentacles, we feel very materially successful, but we feel a bit lonely at the top, or like heavy is the head who wears the crown. We feel a bit disenchanted with how far we've come. The fifth card is the recent past, and with Judgment, we've just made a recent decision to make a big fork in the road, one direction or another. The sixth card is the future, and we have the Eight of Swords reversed, which is indicating that we're bound because we don't have any options here. We feel overly committed to one specific trajectory, and we're a bit disillusioned with what that is. The seventh card is us in the reading, and we have the Two of Cups reversed, which means that in the relationship dynamics of whatever the situation is, we feel a lack of connection or commitment of feeling emotionally fulfilled. This is funny. The eighth card is our influences or environment, and with the Five of Swords reversed, we're being driven crazy by the people around us, literally. The ninth card is our hopes and our fears about the situation, and we have the Two of Swords. This is basically like uninterrogated things going on. Like, we're not bringing up the problems because we don't feel like it's the right time or we don't want the confrontation. So we're hopeful that by not bringing things up, they'll go away, and we're fearful that we're scathing over things that might come back to bite us. The 10th card we have as the final outcome is the Chariot, which is indicating that actually by the end of this, we are building a firm foundation for which to then do the exciting things off of. And this might literally refer to us taking our space and honoring our physical energy to create an environment that's more conducive for our own evolving. So with the tarot out of the way, let's see how this is coming out in day-to-day astrology. So starting on Sunday the 8th, we're definitely jolted awake because the moon in Taurus conjoins Uranus, which is conjoining the emotional tides of the collective and the great liberator unrest, so do expect to be jolted out of bed by something or by your dreams on Sunday morning. Neptune does sextile the moon, which gradually eases us back into calmness later on, so do expect a jolt of awakening and then easing back into things. And then release the anxious energy early on so that the end of the day really does flow into that more Neptunian, more easy to feel type of thing going on later in the day. The Taurus moon sextiles Neptune, which further offers opportunity for artistic harmony or coming into balance with your creative pursuits. And then the moon trines Venus and Saturn and Pluto, filling the rest of the day with tangible follow-through that feels aligned. We're getting down to business in a way that feels really good and grounded. Don't miss out on the dreamy yet practical energy to pursue your visions. And this is probably how in the reading it represented kind of a disillusionment. We're probably feeling like this was so airy-fairy in my head, and now I'm really doing the thing, and it feels really great, and it's not actually as dreamy as I thought it would be. So Tuesday the 10th, the moon enters Gemini, which awakens us both mentally and which awakens both us physically and mentally in the morning. And the moon will oppose Mercury, so it may have us at odds with the loss for the right or the most compassionate words. Like, we might feel like we don't know what to say, or we don't know how to say what we need to say in a way that is compassionate or kind, and we're kind of jagged with either holding our tongue or spilling the beans on something. So make sure to listen before you react to anything. Venus and Saturn do unite to sober our desires. So with a Venus-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn, it's definitely a day where it might be a good day to invest in something high quality that'll last you a long time. And it's also a day to get really realistic about where your values need to become more realistic and rooted in the practical. Wednesday the 11th, there is a Gemini full moon at 12:12 p.m. Eastern time. So for this full moon, the Gemini moon will be squaring Neptune, indicating a fogginess throughout the day that caters more well towards a long bath than logical business. Definitely a full moon that's asking for a culmination of you like kind of resting on your own. The moon also opposes the sun in Sagittarius as the sun in Sagittarius sets, so things will close with a need to find balance between our ego and our sense of safety. Release delusion and invite discernment, and that might mean letting go of all the things that you find, really tuning into what you do find dreamy and discerning through that on your own that day. Thursday the 12th, the moon is void and unpredictable in Gemini until the evening when it moves into Cancer and draws us into a softer close that evening. So though the moon square to Chiron and opposition to Jupiter inflate our sense of compensating with aggrandizement towards any perceived threats, the Mars-Neptune trine will allow us to find healthy emotional outlets. So we probably will feel triggered or like we're wounded earlier on, and then we do really find an outlet for that energy or really healthy closure later on. Friday the 13th, Venus will conjoin Pluto, which invites really deep connection, and whether that's paranoia or bonding, that's kind of up to you. Definitely with the Venus-Pluto conjunction, it's uniting harmony and value with deep crises and trauma, so that can be really healing, or that can be very much traumatic again. That night has a grand water trine between the moon in Cancer, Mars in Scorpio, and Neptune in Pisces, which invites in a lot of emotional softness to ease the upheavals into ascensions later on that night. Finally, Saturday the 14th, the Cancer moon is literally assaulted by Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node in Capricorn, and Venus, polarizing our connection to structures outside of us and our values within us. Definitely a day where needing to find a middle ground between being overly anxious or overly resentful needs to be found. Themes will be carried forth from that, what's coming up, into next month's eclipse in the sign, so do pay attention to what fearful dynamics are arising. That night's Leo moon square to Uranus activates reactivity and restlessness, so during the day you might definitely feel victimized or limited, or like there's parameters put on your safety, and then that night there might be a urge to act out or act shockingly accordingly. So definitely on Saturday I would take a back seat to observe, and it's a good day to probably investigate why you feel the need to react in certain ways or not react in certain ways. So with that being said, let's do a head, body, heart spread with the Work Your Light Oracle deck to see what cards are coming through as guidance. So for the head card, we have the Ever Unfolding Rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. Maybe this week we need to see things less as coming at us and more as us co-creating in participating and attracting whatever's coming our way. For the body card, we have protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Call upon your guides, call upon your ancestors for physical protection this week. I think with being driven crazy by the people around you, you just need energetic armor, and you can either create that yourself or play into who can bring that towards you energetically. And for the heart card, we have Pleiades, double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. So look for this week not only to be one of having dreams and visions about what you want, but a time to actually manifest those practically, get the ball rolling on what you literally want to manifest. Taking those little steps towards action will get more momentum in further attracting what you want. So with those cards out of the way, let's look at a Law of Attraction card to see what Law of Attraction guidance is coming our way for attracting what we want. I attract the essence of my thoughts. The law of attraction and its magnetic power reaches out into the universe and attracts other thoughts that are vibrationally like it and brings that to you. And so you're getting the essence of what you are thinking about, whether it is something you want or something you do not want. This is a really good week for remembering that what we focus on expands, because if we're focused on how irritated or how aggravated we're being made by other people around us, we'll just attract further situations like that. Maybe we need to isolate ourselves or focus more on what we want to expand, so that then those projects can become more solidified around us. So if this was helpful, like, subscribe, do all the things, hit post notifications, and check out my private astrology consultations below. I would love to read for you. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.